In this video, I'm going to teach you the 3 credit repair secrets that credit reporting agencies don't want you to know. Let's begin. Alrighty, so the first secret has to do with a consumer law, not just one consumer law, but really 2, which are 15 USC 1681 EB and 15 US Code 1681 I5. For those who aren't familiar, consumer law, to put it in simplest terms, are just the laws that protect you as a consumer. Now, the reason why these are considered secrets is because most consumers don't know that there are laws in place that they can leverage to get negative items like late payments, like charge-offs, like evictions, like student loans, inquiries, and so much more updated and or removed from their report, right? And this law is a great foundation for those kind of things. So when you take time to Google 15 USC 1681 EB and see what the law has to say, it brings up this section here, which is references accuracy of report, which explains to us as consumers, right? This references the Fair Credit Reporting Act, which protects us as consumers. And it states that whenever a consumer reporting agency prepares a consumer report, it shall follow reasonable procedures to assure maximum possible accuracy of the information concerning the individual about whom the report relates. All this is saying is that when it comes to Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax, they have an obligation, a legal obligation and responsibility to make sure that anything on our credit report, from personal information to negative accounts to whatever it may be, from top to bottom, has to be reporting accurately, right? Then from there, the reason why I take this law and then pair it with this one into one secret is because now when we dive even deeper into consumer law, we can see what consumer law has to say when something isn't being accurately reported on our credit report here in 15 USC 1681 I5, where it references section 5, treatment of inaccurate or unverifiable information, which states that if after any reinvestigation under paragraph 1 of any information disputed by a consumer, an item of information is found to be inaccurate or incomplete or cannot be verified, the consumer reporting agency shall promptly delete that item of information from the file of the consumer or modify that item of information as appropriate based on the results of the reinvestigation, and promptly notify the furnisher of that information that the information has been modified or deleted from the file of the consumer. Once again, this is a secret that the credit reporting agencies don't want you to know, because all the information on your report is supposed to be 100% accurate, but a lot of times when we take time to review our credit report, that isn't the case. A lot of times you'll have misspelled names on your credit report. A lot of times you'll have account numbers that aren't being reported in full, right? A lot of times you'll have accounts that are showing as open when in actuality they're closed. A lot of times you will have accounts with late payments that you've been paying on time, accounts that are charged off that you've been paying on time, and so much more. Now, if you guys want me to make a separate video where I take time to break down all the different inaccuracies that you can look for on your credit report so that you can leverage secrets like 15 USC and 15 USC 1681 EB and 15 USC 1681 I5, put in the comment section below accuracy, please, and I will take some time to break that down for you guys on a separate video. But let's keep going. Now, once again, with these 2 laws here that we can pair into a secret that the credit reporting agencies don't want us to know, we can now leverage them to go ahead and have negative items completely removed from our report if they are being inaccurately reported. Now, to show you guys an example of how I would take these 2 laws and put them into a letter, here's an example that you're seeing on screen here. You don't have to overcomplicate it. Keep it very simple, right? Name, your address, date of birth, last 4 of your social, the date that you're sending the letter out, and what credit reporting agency you're sending it to. And then from there, you're pretty much just copying and pasting these laws. And then from there, highlighting all the different accounts that are on your report. You can see an example of one here that are being inaccurately reported by the credit reporting agencies that you either want updated to positive or completely removed. And then that's it, right? But that's just one of several other secrets that we want to cover, right? Here's another secret that the credit reporting agencies don't want you to know, which is this one right here. 15 USC 1681 I7, which is the method of verification law. Now, this one right here, this secret is a game changer for a lot of individuals, because whether it's in my comment section or it's clients that I have in my consultation company, one of the biggest complaints that I always get from people who are in the process of trying to dispute credit is that they'll dispute an account, they'll send a letter out to Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax, but then they'll get a letter back from these agencies stating that the account is accurate or verified. And at that point, they feel like all hope is lost and there's nothing left that they can do. Well, this secret says otherwise, because if we take time to look into 15 USC 1681 I7, method of verification, it refers this section here, which is description of the reinvestigation process. And it states that a consumer reporting agency shall provide to a consumer a description description referred to in paragraph 6B III by not later than 15 days after receiving a request from the consumer for that description. So this is pretty much saying that when we send a request for the investigation that they conducted, for the details of that investigation to be sent over to us, there are certain details that they need to provide, and it needs to be provided within a certain amount of time. But then when we go here to the section that's referenced, which is 6B I already highlighted it for us here, it states that a notice that, if requested by the consumer, a description of the procedure used to determine the accuracy and completeness of the information shall be provided to the consumer by the agency, including the business name and address of any furnisher of information contacted in connection with such information and the telephone number of such furnisher if reasonably available. So remember, whenever you're entering the dispute process with Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax, all they're doing on their end is conducting an investigation. So if you now receive a letter back from these credit reporting agencies and they're saying, hey, we did our investigation, and by way of the investigation that we've conducted, we believe that the accounts that you have on here that you're saying are inaccurate are actually accurate, you can now leverage this secret, 15 USC 1681 I-7 method of verification, to say, cool, if you guys are saying it's accurate, I need for you to not only provide me proof of the investigation that was taking place, but I need for that to be provided to me within 15 days, right? And if it's not provided within 15 days, by law, that now has to be removed, right? In the credit restoration space, we call this law the prove it law, right? Or the prove it letter. And after requesting this information, if Experian, TransUnion, or Equifax is unable to provide it to you within that 15-day request, it's within your right as a consumer to receive that within 15 days. That item or those items that you're disputing on must be deleted. And so that you guys can see in real time another example of what that would look like here in a letter, same exact process, right? So we're providing all of our demographic information up here so that the credit reporting agencies can verify who we are and not say that, oh, this, you're saying that you're Tom Adams, but we don't have any proof to show that you are who you say that you are, right? Section for the date we're sending out the dispute, the bureau name and the bureau address. And then from there, we're taking time now to highlight. All we're doing is copying and pasting here everything that is inside of the 15 USC 1681 I-7. Now let's go ahead and go back. So that's, once again, a second secret that we can now use to go ahead and have those negative items removed. Now, circling over to secret number 3, and this one is going to be a good one because we covered what to do when you have inaccurate items on your credit report in secret 1. And secret 2, for the individuals that normally come to me and say, hey, I sent a dispute and they came back and said it's verified, what do? We covered that. Secret number 3 is another common one because I'll also have individuals that'll come to me and say, hey, I challenged this item, disputed it, 1 to 2 months later, it's back on my report. What do I do now? If you've ever run into that, or that's something you're currently dealing with right now, secret number 3 is going to be a game changer for you, because in secret number 3, we're going to be referring to 15 USC 1681 I-5 BII, which is referencing reinsertion of previously deleted item, right? And this law simply states that if any information has been deleted from a consumer's file, pursuant to subparagraph A is reinserted in the file, the consumer reporting agency shall notify the consumer of the reinsertion in writing no later than 5 business days after the reinsertion, or if authorized by the consumer for that purpose by any other means to the agency. Okay, and then he continues on here, as part of or in addition to the notice under clause II, a consumer reporting agency shall provide to consumer in writing no later than 5 business days after the date of the reinsertion a statement that the disputed information has been reinserted, the business name and address of any furnisher of information contacted and the telephone number of such furnisher, and if reasonably available, or of any furnisher of information that contacted a consumer reporting agency in connection with the reinsertion of such information. And notice that the consumer has the right to add a statement to the consumer's file disputing the accuracy or completeness of the disputed information. So this is pretty much taking a similar angle to the prove it secret, the prove it law that we touched on earlier, which is 15 USC 1681 I-7, which is method of verification. But this is even more extreme, because with 15 USC 1681 I-7, it was saying, hey, you have 15 days to go ahead and get the information back to me. With reinsertion, it's saying, hey, you were supposed to alert me within 5 days after this account was reinserted by way of writing. On top of that, you also, within those 5 days, were supposed to update me that the information was reinserted. You were supposed to provide me the information of anyone that was connected to this reinsertion. And you were also supposed to provide me notice that I had the right to add a statement to my file in regards to my dispute on the accuracy or the completeness of the information I'm disputing on. So if you as a consumer are watching this and you've been through that, and you know for certain that you did not receive anything from the credit reporting agencies within those 5 days from when that item was reinserted, then you can now leverage this secret, this law right here, to go ahead and get that negative item removed. And once again, swinging over here to the example, so similar to what we did in round 1 letter and round 2 letter, same thing, guys. We're simply just taking this information, copying it from the Cornell Law website, right, where all of this information is outlined, and pasting it here, and then from there under that listing out the different accounts that we want to go ahead and challenge and have removed from our credit report. But that's all for this video. Hope you all enjoyed, and if you don't want to have to go the route of dealing with credit restoration for yourself and by yourself, then head over to my company's website at takeoffinancial.com to speak with me and my team about how we can go ahead and help you get your credit restored and take you to the next level. That's all for this video. Like and subscribe for more. Peace, family.